on? It's your boy JD NoChill.
And it's your girl CJ.
How we doing? It's a no-chill session. We got a lovely guest in here, straight out of DC,
yes.
East Coast, Miss Whisper Washington.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Whisper is in the building.
You know what I'm saying? I know I just put out where you from. What part of DC you from, though?
I'm from Northwest DC, and most of my high school years were spent in Bowie, Maryland, where nobody knows. Little town.
Is that a real town?
Yes, yeah.
Is that a hick town? That sounds like a hick town.
It was. We were not welcome for many years. I'll say it like that.
I'm familiar with that. I'm familiar.
Again, I met Whisper through comedy, and she is a funny mother lover. Funny as fuck.
Don't hype me
know
up.
what I'm saying? So
don't make me feel good about myself.
I was like, yo, I definitely got to get on the show. You know what I'm saying? The first show she did with me, I'm looking like, yo, she killed it. And people didn't really know you. And they're like, oh, who is that? I'm like, she funny as hell. I'm like, yo, that's Whisper Washington right there.
We doing it.
So Whisper, my bad.
No, go ahead.
How did you get into comedy?
I had done like little stuff here and there. You do improv and stuff like that. But I was actually taking Tasha Smith's acting class. Mm-hmm. And there was a comedian in there named Allie. And we were just talking about comedy and stuff. She's like, come to an open mic with me. And I was like, okay. And I went with her and I did well. Well, she told me I did really well. She was like, you weren't nervous. Like, you did so well. And like, y'all comics, that first little hit of it, you like, oh, this is it. I'm in. And so after that, I was hitting open mics every week, constantly going, and then it just kind of built from there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But you had already left DC or Maryland to come here. What was it that said, I'm going to make this move to Los Angeles?
So I had wanted to be an actor, and I had done theater in DC for years and did acting there for a long time. And anybody who's from a small town, you kind of know you've hit your limit. Like, this is all I can do. And I visited my brother. He was living out here, stationed out here, and I visited him. I felt the vibe, and I was like, this is it. This is where I have to go. Like, it was pulling me. And I spent another year home saving, and I moved and came on out. Blew through that savings pretty quick.
Right?
Yeah. Like,
I was like,
you can never save enough to be here.
Even $1 million, you're like, it's just gone.
It's gone.
With gas.
But I think it's just when you come out to LA, you don't really know exactly what to expect. All the thing you know is rent is high and gas is high.
Yeah.
But then you don't know how fast the months coming and how fast you filling up that tank.
Okay. And I didn't really have a job at the time. I was like bouncing around. I didn't have a place to stay. I bounced around for probably like 6 months.
So did I. Same here. When I first got here, I didn't have a place to stay.
Yeah.
I was literally going to school here, but still living down in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
So driving up, staying with friends, Monday through Thursday, and then driving back down to San Diego.
And let me tell you, on some serious stuff, it puts you into a place of like not fear, but you're I need to move, I want to move, but I'm so like, I've been here for too long. I can't. I've been in this apartment, I'm safe, you know what I mean? But I can pay the rent, but I'm like, it's time to move.
Level
and
up.
I'm just like, because I bounced around so much, I'm like, I found my place. You know what I mean? I'm safe here. But yeah, I gotta do it.
Did you have naysayers when you said, hey, I'm about to make this move to Los Angeles?
Woo, let me tell you. Come on. The haters.
So I guess it varies from person to person. But
I have family members who, of course, thought that was ridiculous. But my mentor, my theater mentor, told me that it was stupid. And that that it was stupid of me to move to LA, that LA was too big of a pond for me. And she told me, why don't you go to Chicago first or New York? Or no, she didn't say New York, Chicago or like Detroit or something like that, and build your way up. And I was like, Chicago's just gonna be another DC. Right. Like I'm just gonna get there and do a whole bunch of theater for years and not get anywhere.
It's the safe route.
Your theater mentor.
This was my mentor.
She told her the safe route, but how far did she go?
Okay, like you're teaching a theater class. You're putting on productions in a small town in Bowie, and you're 60. You know what I mean? But I looked up to her because she had done Broadway.
No, she done.
She had done like 2 Broadway things and then was back here. It was back in Maryland, and I was just like, I looked up to her, and when I tell you that cut me deep.
Yeah.
But was the bitch gone? The bitch was gone. I was like, well, I'm leaving anyway.
I'm glad you didn't listen to her whisper.
Okay, bitch.
But obviously, at that time, before you knew anything about the entertainment and everything else, you figured what she did was top tier.
Yes.
And now, as you then grew your scope of vision, you realized what she did was top tier for the little town.
Yes,
but for the bigger picture, that's little.
Yeah, you got to go. I was like, oh my God, you've been on Broadway and she had all these pictures. I was like, this bitch was a star. Right. And it was like, well, you hit the ceiling and then you let yourself get distracted and you didn't push yourself anymore.
Woo! We were just talking about it.
Okay, yeah. She let herself get distracted. She met a boy. She met a boy.
Personal.
Okay.
Personal
with he didn't really have no real ambition, And next thing you know, you stuck in a little town. Both of y'all stuck in a little town putting on productions for high schoolers and shit. And it was like, girl,
this shit.
You didn't have to do it like that.
Come on. It was a cautionary tale.
Oh.
I was like, damn.
So wait. She met a boy.
Yes.
Now, you done been in LA how long?
7 years. I just hit 7 years.
Okay.
I met a boy as well.
How many weirdos have you met since you've been here?
How much time you got? It's very weird. My first experience with a weirdo, I was in an Uber. This is my first year in LA. And he kept talking about my toes. I had never met a man with a foot fetish. He kept talking about, oh, do you have pretty feet? Like, I love women with pretty feet. And literally, this was my first year. I think it was probably like 8 months in. And we pull up and he would not open the door. Like, he kept doing it. Like, I'm unlocking it. He unlocking it. He was like, just let me see your feet. Like, just let me look at your feet. I swear. Yeah, and I was like...
Whisper, you wasn't scared?
Yeah, I was scared, bitch. But first of all, I keep that thing on me. First of all.
Okay, all right. Let me know something.
But no, I was a little scared, but did I show my feet? Yes. Because that's how I had to get out of the situation.
Yeah.
I slipped the little shoe off. I was like, here the toes, and I went on.
What did he say?
And he just let me out. He just let me out the car.
At least you wasn't talking about let me see a titty. You know what I'm saying? Other niggas like, let me see a titty. And
that's almost why I hate taking like Ubers, Lyfts. I hate it because of that experience. But that's when I learned LA is like, it collects weirdos.
Hold on, wait. Time out. I think I lost you. Let me ring it back. All right, so I maybe thought you was on a date. This was your Uber driver.
This was my Uber driver.
Okay, this is the Uber driver.
This man.
Wait. Okay, take it back from me too.
Yeah,
you were not on a date.
I was in
a
Uber.
That's why I said let's take it back.
And he kept you in the Uber.
Yes.
Whisper, shut the hell
playing
up.
Door lock.
Playing door lock.
We don't have time for that. I don't know you. People getting kidnapped.
Yes, exactly. So I was very scared. I wasn't. Again, I keep something with me, so I wasn't all the way scared. But to get myself out of the situation, I just showed my feet. Just pulled it up on the little console thing.
Whisper, I would have called 911. I'm not putting shit up on nothing. You got me fucked up.
Listen, because now if I had make it. Listen, I just was like, I didn't want to escalate it because I'm like, he now knows where my house is. You know what I mean? Yeah, he took me all the way home. Yeah, but like while being in LA, I have met men with foot fetishes. I met the fur baby people.
Where you hanging out at?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Whisper in these streets.
Let me tell you, I hung out in Hollywood because that's what you were supposed to do. That's what you do when you first get
you go to class in Hollywood and then you go back to Inglewood where the niggas is at.
Okay.
No.
I didn't learn that you're supposed to be in Inglewood until about 3 years ago. But I was out here on date naps and hanging out in clubs in Hollywood, and I met weird dudes with weird fetishes.
Fur and foot
that
fetish.
Fur, yes. I saw that on TV. I've heard of the foot fetish.
So they want you to dress up in a fursuit or something?
Yeah, and do it. Have sex.
And dry hump in a fur outfit. It's very strange.
It's very
strange.
What the
Listen,
fuck?
if they like it, okay.
And he was black. Like something about you feel like, okay, you're black,
I'm safe. I don't expect you to be doing
safe.
Shit like that.
You ain't gonna be on no weird. But he was with the shits, and I was like, I'm sorry, my mother will find out somehow. This is gonna end up on the internet.
Do you hear me? It's gonna end up in the cloud. It's gonna be leaked. Listen.
Boy, you can't take that off
20
the internet.
years from now, they're gonna be like, man,
look
at Whisper.
Whisper
in this fur outfit talking about something.
They don't let you live down your past.
Hell no, they don't. They gonna bring it up.
20 years from now, I was a different person then. We don't give a fuck.
We don't give a fuck.
So speaking of that, do you let that ideal of people in this council culture, if you will, dictate how you do your comedy?
No.
Yeah.
Because I have to be authentic to myself. I'm not a negative person anyway. I'm never going to say or do anything that I feel is harmful. I try not to speak on communities that I don't know anything about. And I just try to be, be funny. But no, I'm not going to, if it's funny, it's funny. I'm not going to worry about, oh, I might offend you or whatever. Somebody's going to be offended with what you say.
True.
That's the thing. There's going to be 10 people who think you're funny, 10 people who hate you, and 10 people who are just indifferent. Yeah. So you just got to move and do what you want to do.
Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah.
As you should. And to even have that, early on is like, I don't give a fuck. And again, to hopefully practice that because, I'm looking at Instagram, Shade Room, people on here explaining themselves.
Yeah, I'm never doing
that. And I think it's really, it's not that you too big enough to explain to yourself, but I think as you live in your life, I don't have to explain myself how I choose to live or what I'm doing or saying. As long as I'm not, killing nobody, murdering nobody, I ain't doing nothing. I'm talking about really detrimental to people, you know what I'm saying? So what is the issue here?
But you're explaining yourself to strangers.
Exactly.
They don't even know you.
If you ever saw me explain or apologize, my mama made me do it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Hell
My mama
nah,
is behind the camera like, with a
say
belt,
sorry.
like, say something. You embarrassed me at the church.
I can see that. That's the
only way. But like random people, strangers, and people online are so judgmental.
Oh yeah.
And like they care so much
they
about
sitting at
stuff
home. They ain't got nothing else to care about. And I'm sorry, but
Yes.
some of y'all just it's like, yo, come on. If you focus that much energy on yourself, you'd be so far.
You would be on the Shade Room.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Yo,
but no, you said a key word that boggles me. Even with the fur baby thing, I'm not judging you. If that's what you into, that's your thing. Can I feel free to think it's weird?
Yes.
Sure. But I'm not judging you if that's your thing. That's what I hate about social media. It's like, you don't even know me.
Yeah.
And the fact that people think that they know people, though, because they're on social media.
And they following you. You don't know me.
You looked at some pictures of me. You don't know me.
Yeah,
You don't-
exactly.
yeah. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
for
So,
sure.
yeah.
I get that a lot with men. They assume a certain thing because you see pictures of me online or you see me and you're now assuming something about me.
So
like
now,
those fancy
I was gonna say,
Cancun pictures? Cause
yeah.
you was killing it on the
photo
gram.
shoot pictures. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? With your chest out and stuff.
On the cabana, sitting on the white sandy
Okay.
beaches.
Chest out.
I get two things. I get either they assume a man paid for it, and I'm like somebody's sugar baby. Somebody's sugar baby. They think I'm like, Sadiddy or something, or they think I'm a hoe. Those are the two things I get in my DMs.
Can't just be living.
I never get the
You living.
hey, I would love to be on that type of time with you. I just get you a hoe, or there's no middle ground. I'm like, sir, why I can't just be out with my friends chilling?
Can't
You know
just
what I
be
mean?
living?
Like living my life.
No.
Gotta be
you
a
can't
hoe.
be.
Gotta be a
I was
hoe.
in Mexico with my uncle. But I deliberately did not post no pictures of him.
I ain't gonna lie. I definitely was asking questions too.
Everybody was like, "Oh, what nigga you done hit?" I'm here with my uncle.
Okay.
Like,
and this is the thing. If I was there with a nigga who was spending all that, bitch, y'all would know. Okay.
Exactly.
I would be hype as hell. I'd be like, bitch, you at home. You at home, bitch. I'm out here getting money. Getting money.
They said you at home at the same time.
That's how I feel like y'all would know.
Yes, y'all would for sure know. If it was some baller nigga, y'all would know. I'm not hiding.
She said I'm stunned.
Okay.
I'm a big stunned.
The workout that I have probably put in
to get
to this trip.
Y'all is hilarious right
Okay,
now.
my wrist hurt. My wrist hurt.
It's too much.
That's all I'm gonna say. Shoot,
They don't
jawline
appreciate
strong as hell for no reason.
They don't appreciate.
They don't appreciate it.
don't.
Like, come
They
on, it
don't.
don't make sense.
They don't. What? Okay, so we talked about earlier, segue into something completely different. Mental health in the Black community. Whisper, I want your take on it.
It's very important. I go to a therapist.
Okay.
Do you? How long have you had a therapist?
I have had a therapist for 6 months.
Okay.
I think it's very important. If you're in a couple, depending on how long y'all been together, couples counseling is important as well. But you don't even realize how things that happen in your childhood have affected you. And it's like, my therapist was like, oh, we were talking about things, and it hits, oh, this thing makes me do this because of this. Like, a lot of times I'm really weird about my arms. Like, I wear my arms out, you know. But for a long time, I would only wear jackets because my mother was insecure about her arms. And she felt like her arms were really fat. And she would say stuff to me and around me. You gotta put a jacket on, cover your arms, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't realize that she made me insecure.
She projected what shit that bothered her onto
exactly.
you.
And I never realized that until, you know, going through therapy and talking. And so there's so little things that, you know, you have to learn. Because I want to be a good person for whoever I get into a relationship with, and then my children. I do not want to mess like, you're gonna make mistakes, but I do not want to mess my kids up. You know what I mean? I don't believe in spanking.
Right.
A lot of times in the Black community, we spank out of frustration and not out of discipline. So that's the problem. And so me and my mom had a really good conversation when I was home talking about this.
Was this recently? Was this after therapy?
No, this was not at therapy.
Well, I'm saying after therapy.
Or after it,
Okay,
yeah. And we had a really great conversation because when I was 16, she beat the shit out of me, right? And we discovered that it was from her being frustrated.
And she admitted that.
Yes. And me not being understanding of the fact that she was a human being and she was going through her own personal things. And on top of that, I wanted to be out here running around acting up. And so I compounded, you know, this happened when the economy went down. So
06? I mean,
06. This one was 06, one was, and then it happened again in 08.
Okay.
So my mom and dad, they struggling financially. Dad has to leave out of the state to go work. Mom is now a single mom, taking care of two kids wilding the fuck out. Mother has no one to talk to. Mother has nobody to say, I'm stressed, I'm doing this all by myself, da da da. And she just flipped out on me. I was there. You know what I mean? We were having a conversation. I said something wrong, and next thing you know, everything bubbled over.
The fact that your Black mother admitted to being wrong.
Girl, I was like, call Fox News.
Seriously, I'm still stuck on that because I too have been through therapy. I too realized certain things. Came in single motherhood. It was just me and my mom. So everything is, I get that. And I just try to talk to her about, like, these were some things. I don't remember that.
Girl, they be quick to be like, huh?
Like,
what?
how you gonna put something down like it didn't happen? Now, of course.
Like, why would I lie about getting my ass beat?
Okay.
That ain't no shit I want to remember.
Like, you know, I envy the kids who didn't get whoopings. I'm like, your mama
You
ain't whooping you?
What?
I said, no, my mom put me in timeout.
Let me tell you, my mom was about, so after that beating, my mom completely shifted. She was a talker. I don't remember her ever really hitting me after that. And she was a talker. She's always like, well, why are you da-da-da-da? And so I remember when my nieces and nephews was born, I was looking at her like, you going soft on them. You soft as hell. You ain't hit them not one time. And she's like, because I've grown. Why do I need to hit them? Why do I not explain myself to them? You know what I mean? And so...
it's hard. You know what I mean? It's like, who is this person? Where were you when I was raised?
Give me the belt. Shit.
No, she does.
It ain't fair.
It
ain't fair.
My mom does the same.
My mom is like, it's not one, they're not my kids, and then two, I've grown. I understand that spanking is not as effective as we think it is. But mental health is important. I always think about if my mom would have had more people to talk to. Just in her life, she's gone through a lot in her life, and you know, there's so many things that affect us, and we don't talk about it. You know what I mean?
And we don't have a safe space to talk about it a lot of times. Like, so I feel like a lot of Black people, we think our friends or our mate or our spouse is our therapy, but they're not.
They're not.
That you need a unbiased, safe space for you to talk where this person may be judging you, but you don't know that. They don't really know you. You can just go in there and say whatever, like, damn, I fucking hate this shit. And it not leave that space.
And
that's what's vital.
How did you acquire a therapist? Like, for anybody who's looking for a therapist.
My therapist is Black. Okay. She was recommended to me, but she was recommending me from someone else. But most of the time through your healthcare system, you can find a good therapist therapists. And I believe, I can't think, there is like a Black therapist network where they're all, there. I'm sorry, if you're Black, you have to go to someone Black because they're going to understand things. Like when you say, oh yeah, I was beat as a kid, they're not going to be like, right. They understand that it's kind of within the culture and like help you break that down. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's important to go to a Black therapist. And it's just so crazy within our community, the things that we're like, that's normal or that's fine, that's just fine, and then you grow up and you're like, shit, that was low-key abuse.
It was like, high-key abuse.
Yeah. Like your mom being like, well, if you don't eat what I made you, then you don't eat. That's damn, like abuse. I'm a picky eater, or I just don't want to,
Now, maybe if your parent, again, of course, you may not understand as a kid, maybe if they just say, hey, that's all we got.
Exactly. And, communication. Like a lot of parents don't want to communicate that.
But that's the frustration of that too.
Yes.
It's not wanting to say, this is all we got.
Yeah.
And that was the thing, is like when my parents was going through that financial thing, we had no idea. We was like, why the phone cut off? Like, you know what I mean? What's going on?
Don't be realizing what's going on.
We're not paying attention because we're still in the same house. You know what I mean? Everything's pretty much still the same. Oh, mom's car is gone, huh? You know what I mean? Like, no. And I was like, if my parents would have said and set us down and said, this is what we're going through, I would have probably been moving different because I'm just going on like, hey, we living,
That's like a catch-22 though, because my mama used to say stuff to me like, we don't have it, I ain't got no money, I gotta wait till I get paid, this and that. And so that immediately put in my mind as a young person like the importance of money, or money is everything, or you like wait till you gotta get paid. So I never tell my son when we're having financial stuff,
because you don't
I hide it because I don't want him to worry, and I don't. And I feel like that's also a part of being a good parent.
Parenting is complicated.
It's complicated.
So now you look at it now, it's definitely not as easy as what it was.
We were. Well, I had just turned 16. My brother was 20 something.
She could have told you.
And he was in college, so they really didn't want to stress him out because they were paying for his college.
See, that's what your parents do.
So it was like you have all this stress on you. You paying for college, you paying for, and my brother was just, he had to come home from being on campus. He went to Morgan State, so it's about an hour and a half drive. Yeah. So they just was like, you got to come home, and didn't explain it. So he's just building up this resentment and pissed. And I'm like, if y'all would have said something, he wouldn't have had the attitude that he had, which created more tension in the house and like more friction between them.
Yeah, now at that age, he would have had some kind of like, hey,
this is going on.
We don't have it. This is what we got. I think he would have been able to comprehend that.
Black parents be tripping. They just be like, oh, I don't want to stress them out.
But is that pride though?
And it's pride, and it's a pride thing for sure. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah.
We're going to go ahead and just shift a little bit. I want to kind of go back into like, has that been a part of your drive, been out here, as in to make a different, how would I say, a life for your family or for your future? Like just seeing how your people grew up and everything else, and just trying to do better. You know what I'm saying? Not only the mental health, but also the financial, and also jumping out for your dreams. Has that been like your main drive to, do better?
Nothing financial.
Okay.
I just wanted to complete my dream. Okay. And like a lot of my family had dreams or had things that they wanted to do, got pregnant, couldn't go to school, like just so much stuff, you know what I mean? And I just wanted to live my dream and complete what I said I was going to complete. If financial comes, wonderful, that's great. Like I hope so, but for me it's more of just being like, I set out to do something and I did it. And then as far as like mental health, I want to be better for my family, for my future family, just so I don't keep having the same generational stuff spill on each other.
Rid of them curses.
Okay, like the same. When I'm gonna tell you, almost everybody in my family is a single mother, or something like that, or they got pregnant when they were in high school or whatever. Girl, when I got out of high school or I got out of them teens, my mama was like, whoo, shit, We made it. And then when I graduated college, she was like, bitch, we are breaking barriers, okay?
It's real.
We are breaking barriers.
That was the one thing my mama told me when I joined the military. Mm-hmm. She was like, don't come back here pregnant. Mm-hmm. She was like, because you can stay home and do that.
Ooh.
And it was very true because we had 2 or 3 girls go off, join the Navy, and come back pregnant. Yeah. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. And my mom used to tell me stuff like, if you get pregnant, you and the baby can't stay here.
Sheesh, the pressure.
The pressure. Okay. That was for me why I didn't do a lot of shit. Because I was like, I don't want to be homeless.
Okay.
I still did shit, but I didn't do certain
It worked out. You thought about the conscience. He gave you a conscience, though.
Where am I going to go?
Where am I going to live and be homeless? I'm going to be homeless.
I didn't want to be homeless.
My mom used to always like randomly be like, if you get pregnant, you tell us. We're not going to be mad at you. You know what I mean? We don't want you out there. Because she had the opposite. You know what I mean? Even though they still let her come live in a house and all that stuff. It was all bullshit. But I didn't have that. And I used to just be like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like all my cousins like have done that. Baby daddies who not around. And I was like, I'm not doing it. Yeah. So, but I mean, just to go back to what you're saying, it's just more about I had to go. I packed up my whole life to come out here, and I need to prove that I can do what I said I was going to do.
Yeah, no, big facts. And, where'd you get your degree at, and what's your degree in?
University of Maryland, and my degree's in marketing.
Okay,
it's so completely opposite of who I am.
Listen, that's how
I'll be in the office like, fuck.
Hold on, you got a degree in marketing,
this sister? Bullshit, yeah.
Oh, we gotta talk.
Look at him already.
Okay, let me tell you, these marketing companies be slow with the internet.
Oh yeah.
These kids, I'm like, these TikTok kids, you need to get them in the pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Market on there, like for real. But then the problem is the kids don't market right on their accounts. Mm-hmm. Like you just being like
doing something. Yeah, here
or this thing is in the background. No, bitch, we need that front and center. You know what I mean? So
listen, you said something just a minute ago I want to go back to is I don't want to say mistakes, but learning from people who we feel like we often can't learn from.
Okay.
By your cousins having that to you said, you know what? I see the life they're having. I don't want that from myself.
Okay.
A lot of times we feel like, oh, I can't learn from somebody who doesn't have this level of success or this. No, you can learn from whatever situation to put you right here in this chair now and have the accolades that you have, the comedy shows that you have been on, even living. I tell you anybody, I feel like everybody should leave home.
Oh, yes.
Even you can always go home. Home's not going anywhere. No matter where you're from. You can be from Alaska. You can go back there. Go out, try, do. And then if you don't like it or if it don't work, also to be okay with coming home.
Yeah.
Some people feel like we just had somebody else like, I don't want to go home. I get that too.
There's no shame.
But it's no shame either because guess what? Even that same person that's going to be talking shit when you get there, did you leave here?
Okay. Have you ever been gone?
Have you ever been gone or have you spent all 62 here?
Okay.
Ooh. Disrespect. Damn, this sounds personal.
I'm just saying. All 6, have you spent?
Shots fired. Blah, blah.
I just want to know.
For real, though. For real. For real. No, for real.
Because we be shaming each other for like, oh, so you going to go out there like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go out here.
I'm going to try. Yeah. At least I tried. You know what I mean?
Did y'all see, was it Venus or Serena?
Oh, my God. It was Venus.
That shit was
Venus
hilarious.
don't talk like that. She don't talk like that.
She was like,
I reposted that. That warmed my heart.
She said, what y'all got to say? She said, don't none of y'all play as good as me anyway. So what you got to say?
I was like, she turned into a rapper.
Well, this is how I deal with it because I know that neither of you can play tennis as good as I will play. Like the calmness.
Okay.
I want to channel Reed in this calm tone. Like,
that's dope.
People always try to talk about. I played tennis for almost 12 years of my life.
Jesus.
I was really. I could have been Serena. Okay.
But
people always talk about the fact that Serena used to dominate over her sister. But her sister dominated over everybody else. Like it was just them two for a long time.
I was just gonna say, like, you don't understand. She still is better than 90% of the goddamn league.
Like everybody, and it's like, you know, don't play Venus. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't win against Serena. Like, come on. She unfortunately is the better and more dominant player. Not unfortunately, but she's the better player. but Venus is better than everybody else.
Like if
they would meet each other. In the finals every year,
which is funny. That's twins.
It's funny and it's beautiful because you know what I don't get from them is like a level of insecurity. Like that's probably what they've been telling each other. Like, sister, it's just me and you. Like, imagine being at the top of something and your only other rival.
We're gonna talk. Let's talk about something real quick.
Talk about it.
I'm a big Serena fan. Love Serena. Literally had her picture on my wall. Thought I was gonna be her.
Yeah.
Thick.
You Negroes, okay? When she finally got married and everybody was like, she married a white man, I was pissed. I was like, she found love, okay? Leave her alone. But the hate she got for marrying that white dude, and I'm like, she dated a lot, and like she used to date she dated on the low.
Yeah.
But because I was a stalker fan, I knew that wasn't the first white dude she had ever dated. She dated some French tennis player as well. But she dated a lot of rappers.
Common, Drake.
Okay? Nobody wifed it. This man literally 6 months, he was like, boom, you're mine. Like, period.
And that motherfucker got in shape too. He realized if I'm gonna be with Serena, I gotta get in shape. Because he was little as hell when he got with her.
And he shot his shot. He saw her alone in a restaurant, like she was having breakfast or something, and went smack at her. The confidence.
Yeah.
The confidence. I always say, if a white dude come at me, I'm gonna give him my number. Just for the fact that you had the confidence to come over here and shoot your shot at a black woman.
And he shot at Serena too.
Okay, at Serena.
Yeah.
Sheesh. I'm like,
I feel like we do that just because, I mean, there are a multitude of reasons. Some people just aren't raised to believe in interracial relationships, but it's like, why do you care?
Why do you care?
So
Whatever
if
Serena
I end up
do.
with a white woman in the future,
I'm gonna talk about you behind
I did definitely. Whisper, I'm gonna call you and we
I'm
both.
gonna be like, my brother. I'm turn into Dr. Umar. Ooh, my brother. Okay.
Oh, damn.
It only takes this much.
Whisper, I'm gonna call you and we both gonna roast this nigga together.
Okay.
I am a white queen.
My brother.
This gonna be my new thing right here.
A sister is gonna make your house a home, okay? No,
she ain't gonna put no seasoning in your food. Now. I want you to know
That's what
that.
it's gonna be. I mean, whoever makes you happy.
Yeah, whoever makes you happy. I wouldn't judge. I only have an issue if you have to downplay the other us. If you say, oh well, I started dating her because black women. That's when I have a problem. If you just happen to bump into a woman and meet her, she's amazing, do your thing. Yeah. It's not really gonna bother me.
Nah,
I tell everybody, if you see me with an older white man, mind your business.
That part.
My rent is paid.
And you're going on trips.
Okay, probably got a mortgage.
She's silly. All right, so I would say, as we closing out, I wanted to ask you, what is something that you would tell your younger self? What is something that you would tell, like, or even, if not your younger self, what is something that you would tell the young ladies who are following the same path as you? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What's some advice you would give?
Shoot.
I know it's a heavy question.
24, 20-something. One, don't worry about dating. Your person will find you when they're supposed to find you. Don't stress yourself about, I need to get out here, I need to date, because that is a consuming thing. Mm-hmm. And being in a relationship is a consuming thing. And when you're trying to go for something, you need to go for that 110%. And I've always said I'm running my race, and that right person is going to come right along and keep me running right with them. You know what I mean?
And that's what's up.
And then 2, just to go for it. Whatever pops in your head, whatever thing you're thinking of, write it down and just do it. Don't delay yourself and, don't wait for everything to be right. It's never going to be right. You know what I mean? Just grab your eggs and run. Okay? Don't try to think, I got to get everything right and my basket right, then put all my eggs in the basket. No. Just grab it and go. Yeah. For sure.
That's what I like that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Amen.
A
word. Can you feel them in the building?
Yes. She dropped some jewels today, man. Well, again, appreciate you, Miss Washington, Miss Whisper Washington, DC native, East Coast native. You know
Thank
what I'm saying?
Thank you for having me.
Yes. We're going to plug all her social medias at the bottom, so any of the fellas that was looking, again, she fuck with the hood brothers. You know what I'm saying? Educated hood brothers.
I'm sitting on a dump truck. I'm sitting on some things too. So
okay, she's 3 feet higher.
Right
you didn't even see it. You know what I'm saying? That you're excited right now. But it's your boy JD NoChill.
And it's your girl Chelsea.
And it's been a NoChill session 1.
This is Whisper Washington, DC's own Whisper Washington, and this is a No Chill session.